everybody. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, good evening.
All right. So, let's start with your you guys' assignment. So, one by one, if you guys quickly share the screen, go over what you have prepared, and then we will discuss, ask all the questions, and basically get clarification on it. So, who is gonna go first?
Hmm. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, certainly.
Man. Okay. I hope I get it right. Yeah. Okay. This is what I did so far. I tried so hard to simulate. So this is me right here, putting my area. This is my initiation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gathering requirements from the stakeholder, like the project's name, project description, software needed, and printing. This is supposed to be a credit card.
Okay.
Okay. And then the reason for this project is creating a new credit card for a new bank coming up. Then problem and opportunities. I didn't write anything there because I could not really think of any problem. Problem may be maybe some lack of software in order to get this job done, or lack of human resources or something could be a problem. So
Yeah, so the problem and opportunity statement, basically, what is happening that
Mhm.
usually American Express, they work with the different like the big companies, like
Mhm.
they work with Delta. So they provide so basically the credit card is provided by American Express, but
Mhm.
the branded as like Delta, card. So just like that, there was another new addition with the XYZ company. They were introducing a new card for that.
Okay. So like this, I think that's okay.
Okay, so American Express,
Mhm.
they got into agreement with the you can say like a United Airline. Okay,
Yeah.
and they will be American Express United Airline card, travel card, they would be
Yes.
adding. Okay, so
Mhm.
that is what the opportunity. So this like the this not the problem, this is the opportunity. They are grabbing a new client and introducing a new basically product. Okay, a
Mhm.
new so far because American Express is a lending firm. They lend through their credit cards. So for them, the products are their credit cards, right? Okay.
Yes.
So they are introducing a new product in collaboration with the United Airline.
Yeah.
So that is basically what is your opportunity statement.
Mhm. Thank you. There. So let me take this one. Okay. After that, I go to resource planning. Resource planning is basically contacting the IT management. So when I contact the IT management, I need to get the human resource, software, and hardware needed. So I started with the human resource. This is all what we needed: a BA for 350 hours, an SA for 200 hours, a QA for 150 hours, and a developer for 200 hours. So this is when I contacted IT management, and basically that is what I got.
Okay, all right.
And
So right. So usually um, if there is like the BA spending 350 hours,
mhm.
so the development will have at least 5 times more than that.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do.
So there will be 5 developers with each with you can say 400 hours, so 1500 hours of
Mhm.
development. Okay, and if the development is like 1500 hours, So the testing would take at least 60% time in comparison to development.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
so then the testing would be at least like kind of 700 hours. Okay,
Mhm.
so now there can be like two yeah, so this is how then based on that, when you will put that on your the project timeline,
Mhm.
then you would be able to kind of see that okay, if you have to finish the the QA from April to May, and
Yeah.
April to May,
Mhm.
the total hours for one
The,
resource
yep.
is like one resource is working full time, then April to May they will have like 200 and like around 300 hours for one
Yeah.
resource they will
Yeah.
consume. So as total is like 700 hours, so we need
Mhm.
at least like a minimum two resources
Mhm.
to do that job within that specific time,
Okay.
or we may need three resources to do that job. And similarly, like March to April, if you have to, so you
Mhm.
have to like 1500 hours. March and April have like 2 months,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like a kind of 2 months, it would be 9 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have
In
a question on that. Can I
uh-huh.
ask?
Sure.
How do you okay, so like how she wrote 350 hours, right? So
Yeah.
how do you come up with how many developers, and how do you come up with the other manager hours, like the work, like resources hours?
I got it
So
from, let's say,
mhm,
from the stakeholder when you get your requirements.
right.
So when
So
you, yeah.
these are the estimates that you get from their managers.
Mhm.
Okay, so you just explain to them that, hey, this is the project. You explain whatever the information that you have about the project, and they will, okay, all right, to do this. They will put an estimate, like, I think estimate we need development at least 1500 hours for the development. Okay, okay,
Mhm.
and how you will basically like so how many weeks are there in March and April. Okay, how many holidays are there, how many total days of working days in March and April are there,
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Okay.
each working day you have like 8 hours, so you have total hours, what would be. So if one person is like fully working full time 40 hours a week, then
Yeah.
he or she will consume that much number of hours. So the total hours you have divided by that hours in March and April, then you will have number of resources you need.
Unit, yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay, but sometime they just give you that, hey, we need I need three developer for each like 700 hours, and then basically you go 700 multiply by 3, it gonna be 2100
100
hours.
hours.
Right.
Okay.
And if your timeline, says that you have to finish in 2 months, then you have to tell, okay, all right, for 2100 hours you estimate given, I need these number of resources minimum. So are you like, because we have a timeline, over here. So what your take on it? Do you want to add more resources, or how you want to do it?
Oh, okay. So based on hours, that's how many resources you will find out you need.
Right, right. So you will,
Okay.
as a project manager, you will just calculate based on, because project timeline, they don't know the project timeline. You have to build that project timeline as a project manager.
Yeah, as a
So
project manager, yes.
right, and you know that basically like what is your project deadline when it needs to be like released, and your project timeline should follow that deadline, right?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's gonna be released in July, so you wanna finish by end of May,
Yeah.
okay, or
Mhm.
late by mid June, okay.
Okay.
So you have to plan according to that, like if you will do like you know like 20% time for the business analysis, and then like 40% time for development, and then 30% time for testing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And schedule like that, and then it will like be fit in timeline, and according to your timeline and estimates, you will know how many resources that you need, and that what you will then basically discuss further with their resource manager, because you gonna acquire those resources from them. Are they gonna hire new, are they gonna provide whoever available in their team?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to basically like give that like a project, like the time, discuss that project timeline with them, that hey, this is what it is, and probably have like stakeholder meeting, so both businesses stakeholder and them to discuss that.
Yep. Okay. So yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and when you will have hours, then the next is basically, then you can convert those hour into budgetary estimates too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Means like the BA will be paid as $40 per hour, the developer will be paid as $60 per hour, and QA will be paid as like $45 per hour. So by total number of hour those resources have, you will have that like the budget for your project.
Okay, so one more question. So when everything works out, right? So the project manager sits with the stakeholder and explains everything. That's what we have, and that's
Right. So explain that with the stakeholder what information he got. So he is a project manager, is just like artist, and but
okay.
not like that. So he is basically illustrator or somebody like what is the like he is something like you tell them and they will draw. Okay. So the big picture they will always show. So it's just like the appropriate example would be that just like illustrated in like at the police station, who you just like explain that that guy will look like this, and he or she draw the picture and keep showing you. Okay. So they
Okay.
are not putting anything. As a project manager, you are not putting anything from your side. You have
Mm-hmm.
a skill set. Using that skill set, and that's your like the role, you get the information, and when then portray that information in front of them, that hey, this is how it look like, and until the finalized plan is ready.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Okay. So I got some hardware here, laptop, phones, right? After gathering all this, getting the timeline and stuff like that, I went through getting. It's still gathering my resources though. So you need the software and the hardware. So my hardware, laptop, phones, printer, mouse, monitor, and so on. So getting all that done, I have my estimation for $1 million. Yeah. And when you get to the estimation point, you can actually pick up the project now with analysis that which goes for the BA. Now the BA can come in at this point.
Okay. So it's a good one, but need more like content in more detail, like what you are explaining.
Mm-hmm.
So that's needed to be put on basically like paper. Okay. So
Yeah.
you can expand on that. So basically, what I will ask, write your whole story. Okay. And
Okay.
yeah, so write your whole story, what all that like complete story, that okay, all right, this is what I did.
Oh,
I went
okay.
to went to basically then resource manager first. I went to like the BA managers, asked that BA managers that how many this is the project, explain the project to them. I scheduled a meeting with the BA manager first, like start with
Oh,
that.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So explaining the whole process, the whole nitty gritty detail of
Oh.
that story. So so you create that basically as a rough draft for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then here in there basically like so the first you said the initiation. So you don't need to mention the initiation or anything in the
Okay.
project manager. Just like this is the project name. Okay, the project
Okay.
name is like
Hey, Shad, I'm actually getting a call from the hospital.
okay,
I might have to leave for like 5 minutes, and then I'll call you guys right back. Okay, I'll join right back in.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good. All right, so
Okay.
this is the then project name that so the project is basically like the name of the project. So if you can correct, I can basically like
Okay.
tell you.
Mm,
Okay.
Let
So
me take this one off.
yeah, so credit card, basically a new credit product addition, a new
Mm,
credit card product
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
product addition.
Addition. Yeah.
So addition to American Express portfolio.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So this is like would be a new credit card uh, portfolio in collaboration with United Airlines. Okay, all right. And then in the project description is basically like the first there was be background of that project.
The
Okay,
first word.
the first heading under the project description would be
Mm-hmm.
the background of that project.
Okay.
So you have that like the one I shared that the
Mm-hmm.
table of content. So yeah, so the background of the project and create is as a document. Like in the document, you see that first is like first page is just the title and who is creating that the project title, project number, and that would be in the first page, and then second page table of content. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then on the third page you like start with the project description, the background of that project. So the background of that project is basically like the American Express work through its credit card products, and often we had in our portfolio uh, credit products with the Delta airline, and it was always a target of the company to add more clients into our portfolio. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so for that our sales team was working on adding new product line with the United Airline for some time, quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they negotiated a deal, and in the result of the deal, we are adding this a new product uh, for United Airline travel card, product named as United Airline travel card, which would be backed up by American Express.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it would be MX United Airline credit card. So that is kind of the background. And
Okay.
then after the background, then would be like, uh, problem opportunity statement and
Yeah.
so on. So all those like, would be, so it should, would the document will look like kind of, you create, it's a project, real project, and it is, a kind of a real project.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
all these questions, like project description, you're gonna get it from the stakeholders. They will give it to you, and you need to type it in, right? You need to put it in your documents.
So I missed you. There was a break in your voice.
I
So
mean, like
mhm.
you like, okay, let's say you got into a company, the project manager, and they are starting a new project. So
Mhm.
the project name comes from the stakeholders, right? The project description, background, and
So
all.
usually, yeah. So they comes. So it would be like just like I'm a basically for you, and that's how it would be in the real world. That I'm
Oh,
the
okay,
I'm a project stakeholder. That's why
okay,
I'm telling you
yeah.
that this is the project name and this is why we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm giving you that. Similarly, you will get that information from the stakeholder in that company.
Oh, wow, okay, okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but what you will have a template
Mm-hmm.
that you will use,
That
and
was my next question. Like, am
right.
I going to have a template in the company? Like, you have that template where you need to only put in those information?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. So you would have a template that you will use. So I can share some templates that I have. So you can
Okay.
use those templates,
Mm-hmm.
but you would have a template. The only like you need to know that how to fill those template and
Okay.
start with them.
Okay. Okay. But so far, I did good in assimilation, like the knowledge and stuff.
So your voice is breaking,
I
Aisha. That.
said, so far, the
Mhm.
assimilation of the project manager, is it okay? Like, do I
Yeah,
actually,
that is okay. That is okay, but
okay,
it's like needed to be in more detail.
in a more
Okay.
detailed form?
Yes, sure. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's needed to be in more detail. So
Okay.
that's what basically
Mm-hmm.
would be when you put uh, that in more detail,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be. So for example, let me quickly share
Okay, let me see.
that. Yeah. So I'll share with you basically like
Mm-hmm.
this the uh, so this is more like kind of a project charter,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be just an example that how you will create your uh,
Okay.
right. So this is basically the business vision document. So you will see that on the first page that's like what the document is and their name, and then on the
Mm-hmm.
second page is just like kind of revision history, that who has created it and when it was revised. So and then table of contents, like description of problem and opportunity. There's like the problem opportunity statement. So major business benefits, goals, feasibility committees, something, operation technology integration, quality, strategic drivers and all that. So this is all comes in the description of that project, like
Mm-hmm.
budget consideration. Then comes gets the current processes, and how the currently happening, and what would be alternate, or this is
Mm-hmm.
the background. Then impacted business function, or impacted business segments, and impacted business segment functions, and then segments, and then key recommendations, demographic, key stakeholders, subject matter experts. So all that, like and then you will see that in the description. Then one,
Oh, yeah, I see.
yeah, 1.1 problem opportunity statement. So here will be like a whole story, and usually you get that description from the project charter. So there would be a project charter already, which is the project request document. So you
Mm-hmm.
would have all the description in there.
Okay.
You just have to copy and paste in your. That's it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So in that's in the real world. So basically, so what will go into your document, much of the material that is coming, like specifically like project uh, background and all that will
Mm-hmm.
go into there. So go directly into your basically document. what
Mm-hmm.
what is budgetary consideration, and this is what you would basically your planning comes in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
all that like resources and everything then ends up into budgetary like budget, that how much you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what basically this is what you will be like doing basically, and that's what you showed, that's what you would be doing, means like getting the resources, like how many uh, you know people you need, based on that, building your timeline, and then based on the also the resources, building that how many number of resources that you need, and how much is the total budget for that project. And
Okay.
you will basically like from your project manager resources, or
Mm-hmm.
so project manager are also part of a group, just like BA manager. There would be a project managers manager too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, who will lead that project management group. Okay,
Okay.
and they will have their own basically like a project management documents and templates, SharePoint site. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they will have everything that all those templates over there. Okay,
Yeah.
and when you will hire, they will basically like who when you get hired and they will onboard you, then they will basically give you that, hey, this is the site and these are templates over there, and this is how do. And they will basically give you an overview how the things are done at that company.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's with that said, so basically like much of the information that is will go into your document
Mm-hmm.
will come from the project charter. And project charter is the document that you basically show to other uh, basically resource managers when
Mm-hmm.
you are talking to them, and when you are basically dealing with them. So what you are showing, you are showing the information in the project charter,
Yeah.
explaining what is that, what is the problem, what is the opportunity, and this is the project that's
Yeah.
high. And this is that project charter or business request, they carry like high level requirement, like so
Mm-hmm.
when we use that high level requirement and detailed requirements, they are two terms that are being used. Okay, the high level of requirement means like it's a kind of 70,000 feet above vision of those requirements.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and what the BA does, he gets the detailed requirements from the stakeholder. So
Yeah.
basically that is kind of 1,000 feet above ground vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, while that the requirement that is in the first document, business request document, that is like very high level requirement, means like doesn't explain exactly what nitty gritty details, but just overall what they need.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's so do you give them that overview of that, like hey, these are the what they are looking problem or opportunities, and let me know how many resources that you need for that. And then they will like let you know. And sometimes you don't have to even this is the standard I'm telling you. In the real world, probably you just have to send them, hey, this is the project name, and here's a project charter. So just send them an email and they will tell you that, okay, all right, I need a BA for this for this many hours. But the better way is to kind of quickly schedule a meeting, explain them that this is the project and all that, and get that information from them after that. Because
Mm-hmm.
then they will basically really like get a look and uh, provide you kind of more judicious estimates. And sometimes you just like have a BA manager, a development manager, and QA managers in one meeting and ask them, hey, this is a, and explain to them, hey, this is the project that I'm working and I'm doing the planning for, and this is, and I want you guys to provide your estimates that how many BAs that you need, and how many
And
developers that
how
you need,
many?
and QAs that you need. So there are many version how you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, but
Mm.
personally, I like that, calling them in one meeting, all three or four, whatever, and then explaining them, hey, this is the project, and then having them to send me estimate. It saves time.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, but then now I like that, but in the beginning I was like kind of shy, so I used to okay, just deal one at a time.
One at a time, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all depends on you that how you want to handle it, and that's basically like how it goes.
And usually, how long is the meeting?
Meeting is usually like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour maximum, not more than
Okay,
that.
okay.
And yeah, then when you usually start meeting, the times pass by like very quickly in the discussion, all that when two three
Yeah,
people are speaking, time passes very quickly. So I usually recommend that at least a 30 to 45 minutes meeting would be.
good. So I
Yeah.
have a question right here. Project risk management. So how do you take a risk and how do you get it?
I don't know if you are cutting just for me because or for
Oh,
everybody.
can you hear me
Everybody. Yeah, so your voice gets a kind of, certainly you're speaking in the, microphone, and then
now?
you got
Yeah, that's
you get back. So
true.
that's like how it sounds. So I can hear what you said first, and then what you said, next, and it doesn't. So anyway, that can you repeat what you said?
Yes, I said project risks, right? Management. How do you detect the project risks, and then how do you mitigate it? Do you reach out to the stakeholders?
Okay, so
Yeah, when she speaks, like I think in a long sentence, it gets cut off, right? Or it's just
Oh,
me.
yeah. I don't know what is going on today. Maybe my laptop or my headphone. I was asking about the risk management. Can you hear me now?
risk management you are talking about?
Yes.
Okay,
Like
all right,
how
yeah,
do
right.
you detect the risk
Mhm.
and how do you mitigate it like in the project management environment?
Okay, yeah, certainly. So first thing is that the risk management is after that project is being started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you know that each phase carries its own risk. The risks that are associated when the project is in business analysis phase is different than the risk in the design and the development and the testing. And one of the common risk is like will that be completed within the time frame? Okay, so that is the risk. BA is not able to get hold of the stakeholder and not able to get basically like start scheduling those meetings on
Mm-hmm.
time. That is a risk because that can put project like trickle down effect to other phases. Okay, so that is the risk. And when sometimes like that scenario happens that BA is not able to get, then maybe project manager gets involved and get the stakeholders and call out kind of risk management meeting. So project manager basically that's why project manager every week or every other week schedule a status meeting. So in that meeting, we'll discuss if there are any risk associated. Okay, so calling out those like the risk or if any potential risk mean you know the BA has started contacting with the stakeholder and all that and not getting traction, then but BA have to start by 1st of January, and there is not like a kind of much traction, so it can be a potential risk. So wasn't able to start on 1st of January, then in the next meeting, okay, all right, we have a potential risk that if the meetings are not getting not got scheduled due to these reasons, then it's gonna be a risk on the project. So are we able to like so basically then project manager has to involve the bigger group, you know means like stakeholders from operation side and as well as from the technical side. Okay, like whoever we are kind of concerned, all the concerned stakeholders. Okay, for the business analyst, stakeholders are just the business operation folks, maybe like 4 or 5 people. who are gonna give the requirement. Those are the stakeholder. For for the project manager, the stakeholder are though maybe like those who giving the requirement plus maybe their managers, okay, who are sponsoring the project, who are decision maker on the operation side, and similarly managers who are decision maker on the technical side. So whenever that's like such risk arise, how project manager resolve that risk first, communicating that risk to all the right people, and then giving them, hey, if it would this would happen, then these are the possible outcomes, so that how to avoid these outcome, we have to do this, and if we don't this, then the outcome are this, then we have to accept the outcome. Okay, so that's it. That's how you as a project manager. So then either they will, okay, all right, we have this issue, so that's why we need to maybe like stretch a little bit, and then either they will accept the risk, okay, or they will resolve it. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yes. So basically, like that we still are at the same so this documents needed to be basically like a more clear. I will send you some of the templates, okay, for the the project, and then I will ask you to create. I can create this document based on these table of content. So this is basically the table of content that I
Yeah.
have provided you. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
and create that basically resource needed, create a table on that, okay, maybe like Excel table that resource needed business analyst, okay, that is the so usually in that you also hiring manage like resource manager name is this, and number of hour is this, and then you know uh estimates, okay, 4 BA multiply by this and this, then BAs are, so put the BAs like as a $40 per hour, and system analyst $45 per hour, and developers $50 per hour, and create that a total budget. Okay, so that would be kind of the budgetary estimates that will go there. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, and then also create a project timeline. Calculate, because these are the on hand things that I want you guys to. The purpose of this creating those documents, so that you will do those calculations. That
Yeah.
how the weeks are converted, how the timeline is being prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is basically the exercise that you have to do, like so how the timeline been prepared, how the resources are fit into that timeline. Okay, so whatever the estimate you can get for the resources, but you have to build that like accordingly. Okay, for example, like if you want example, all right, so the 300 hour for BA, there was one BA working on this project, and if I will prepare a budgetary estimate, so it would be like okay, I will go into all right, so BA system analyst, developer, okay, and QA, okay, and I will put like resources, and then their number of resources, right, and I have one BA, I have one SA, I have 3 developer, and I have, let's say, 4 developer, 3 QA. Okay. And then hours needed. Estimates. Okay. That I will, so 300 hours for one resource this, and 300 hours. So usually like almost sometimes same 300 hours for this, and then you know uh 500 hour per resource. So these are basically like 4 resources, 4, so 2000 hours would be for this. And there is like 400 3 hours for this. Okay. And then I'll put like uh charge rate card, or rate card charge back. And their BA's rate card is like uh 40 $45 per hour, and then SA is $50 per hour, and then developer is $55 per hour, QA is $50 per hour. Okay. And uh, estimated subtotal. Okay. All right. So for that, if we'll like multiply 300 with the 45, so 300 multiply by 45, it's gonna be, so this is now becoming 13,500. Okay. Then 300 multiply by 50 is 15,000. Okay. All right. And then 2000 multiply by 55, 2000 multiply by 55, it's gonna be 110. And then 1200 multiply by 50, it is 60,000. And then basically if I want to get that like total, so total of this is, and 198,500. So that is budget estimates for the resources. Okay. So this is like,
so if and that can be changed, right? Okay,
yeah,
so
that can be
if
changed.
yeah, if just say I have a question. Just say like, the timeline, the project is got to be due by mid-June, right?
Mhm.
And like you said, the risk management could be like, it didn't start on time, it couldn't finish on time. These are the risks they got to find out, right? And okay, so basically, like, just say if they want it to work done in that hour, and they don't have anything available, like, like the BAs and SA and stuff like that, you could hire more BAs, more developers to finish the work in that timeline.
Right, right. So
Okay.
that is basically the ultimate, basically like the way that if they don't have, then they have to basically hire more resources.
Yeah, hire more resources because they have to finish in that timeline, because
Right.
that thing is going to be put out in like mid-June, like whatever the deal is, like you said, Black Friday deals and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
Mhm. So that is basically, so this is what, so this will become your budgetary estimates, like, this is this is your budgetary estimate.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how your budgetary estimate will, look like.
Yeah.
Okay. And similarly, like, will have your, like the estimates for hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you will, like, took, this, okay. So this is your, estimates from your, basically, like, the resource managers. Okay.
Mm.
And similarly, there will be, like, addition to these columns, like they need, like, in BA need laptop, you know, or, something like that, like, uh, so there would be, like, you know, hardware needs, hardware needs, and then where needs. Okay. All right. So one laptop. Okay. And then, one laptop, then four laptop, three laptop,
Option.
exactly. Okay. So this is how it would be, like, okay, all right. And if there is any specific software that would, and that will go into that appropriate, column. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because
And mhm,
software information, like whatever they used.
right. Okay. And similarly, like, to get that then timeline. So you will have, like, in January, then uh, you know February, and then March, then April, then May, then June, you have July. Okay. So that, and then uh, so based on that is, like, all right, the first is your,
I have one more question.
sure.
Just say, like, in the timeline, the BA is working, and BA needs 300 hours to work on this project, right?
Hmm. So
And
yeah,
so that's where we're gonna, like, multiply how many like 40 hours a week by, like, five or whatever the math we're gonna do. I have a question. Is there, while the BA is working, can the SA starts working in the middle of it, or BA has to finish his job to SA to start?
so in traditional, if you the this the method of work that we are basically following, this is
Mhm.
traditional waterfall way. And in waterfall, first phase has to complete to start the next.
Okay, so it has to complete, and if that location in the timeline, project manager comes up, like, that many hours, and this month it will take. If that doesn't match with that timeline, I could go back to the BAs, be like, yo, go back to the resources. I need more BAs to work that many hours to finish into that timeline.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
all right,
So
perfect.
that's, yeah. So that's how it would be. So basically, like, you would have that basically that timeline for that, where
Okay.
you will, like,
And when it comes to the risk, just say, like, how you said, the project manager has like a weekly or like every 2 week meeting. And if the BA has a question for project manager, listen, we said this, we tried this many hours, this and that, but like the risk is we're not going to able to finish, but we can use another BA to finish the work in that timeline. And that could be done also.
yeah, that could be done certainly.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Okay. So this if the project that we are discussing, if it is gonna be like, Black Friday deal, so their uh, basically project timeline, it's gonna look like something this. Okay. And then, and
And it has to be
Right.
done in October because it's due in November, right? They want everything to be certified before they put the product out there.
Right, right, right.
Oh, all right.
Mm,
So in any meetings, anything that be needed, it could be back and forth to
yeah,
help in
right,
that
right,
project. All right.
right, right, right.
Oh,
So
all right.
basically, like, yeah, and so when you have this timeline,
Mm-hmm.
then you can basically help that, how many resources that they need.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they will, like, say that, okay, all right, how much, because this is another this is the time versus the resources, because resources is hours, and you have to tell like in time. If it is 2000 hours, if you are putting like, one or two resources, that means 1000 hours. That will go like, just the development will go for
So like all
8 months.
yeah, like August from March. Yeah, like good.
Yeah, right. So the development will be kind of, 8, 9 months, just the development, and then the testing will like, so that's why when, five resources working like, 500 hours. So right now our development is 3 months. So 3 months means like, let's quickly like, see that these months are May, June, July. Okay. So 4, 4 on 4, 12 weeks, around 12 weeks minus would be the holidays because there will be 4th of July holiday and some other holidays that come in. So just estimates like 12 weeks, and 12 weeks, each week is like 40 hours and multiply by 40. So 480. Okay.
480.
80 hours would be in these 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And say like, so because months are,
30, 31 and 30. Yeah.
right, 30, 31. So
Yeah.
around 500 hours would be in 3 months, like safely. So basically, like, you have to calculate like 12 are basically 4 weeks each, like a month. But 4 weeks plus 2 days and 3 days, that does happen too. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, but just like on an average, it's like, so this is how you calculate that, like the hours, and say like 490 hours in those, and we have 2000 hours worth of development divided by 490.
So basically,
You need
the
a
project.
four, yeah, you need a four resources minimum.
So in a basic language, the project's giving it to you. You setting it up and you doing the math. So it's like you setting up the equation and you got to solve it.
You are just the equation is just nothing. It's just the standard
Yeah,
math.
just the
So
basic information.
you're planning, yeah, you are planning, you're
And I'm
getting,
doing my planning. Yeah.
yeah, so you
Uh,
are planning. So to so you are basically like planning it, and they will have their templates within that, the company, that of planning templates. Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
they will have a norms that, so some company has 20% of the project for an analysis and design both. Okay,
Oh,
means there will be like 1 month business analysis, 1 month design, and then, for 40 or 50% of the time they would have development, and then 30% of the time testing, and then 10% of the time UAT.
okay. I
Okay.
have a one question. Can business analyst could be a project manager too in the company? Can they do the both roles or no?
Certainly they can do that, but then
But that would be a hassle, right?
yeah, that would be like
Okay.
kind of, that person would only be able to work on one project then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, and certainly, yeah, business analysts can do that, project management too, because you have to first do the, pre-planning and, the project planning, and then you have to do the analysis, and then, from the analysis going onward. But you would be also additionally doing that project management task means keeping up the status and all that, working with different stakeholders. So it would
Okay.
be kind of, basically two jobs that you will be doing. So yeah, or you can work as a business analyst in one project and
Project
as
man,
a
other
project
one.
manager on other one. That is more appropriate. Then you
Okay.
don't have a kind of conflicting
Okay. All
But
right.
are you going
roles.
to do that like in the same company, working on two projects?
Yeah, say in same company,
Oh, okay.
usually like the resources work more than one project at a time. Okay. For
Oh,
example, if you're a BA, you are fully busy in January and February, then you are basically 30% probably or less than 30% busy from March till October. So what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? So you will have get assigned another project where you will be like fully while you will be just keeping up status and doing some tasks for these.
And like you said, there's always something coming up in the companies to for you to
Yes,
do.
right, right, right.
Okay.
mm,
Yeah, because there are not just
yeah.
one project, there are
Yeah,
tens of
there's
projects
so
that they
much
have.
going on in
I
one
Right,
thought
company.
you would
Yeah,
just be
there's
done in
so many
February and then
different
you
varieties that
do
happens.
another job.
right, right, right.
I
So yeah,
explained, one department takes care of like the credit cards, the other one's that has their own
so
team
yeah, so
that has
definitely, right, right. So when you will like get into the organization, you will know more, but
yeah,
they will have a whole lot different, organization within the organization,
yeah, exactly. Okay,
and
perfect.
even within the group, there will be an organization.
All right.
So here we are going to do project management as the role of a PA, or are we going to go through the role of a SA, QA? Are we going to go through
Yes,
all?
we're gonna do that as we would be done with this, the basically exercise to
Mhm,
create that project document. Then
mhm.
we will move to the basically next role. Okay, so this is the only hold up basically to
Yeah.
finish up.
And
And this is yeah, and this is not the hold up. This is just like every day you are learning every
yeah,
day.
it's
So
like,
this
yeah,
is
every day
exercise.
it's
Yeah,
more clarifying to us.
clarifying exactly. And
First
right.
we got it like, as I mean, it's just me. Everyone is their own person. So for me, it's taken probably a longer time than the other people, to understand.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm getting there though. you know,
Yeah.
it's just my, like in regular life, so much going on. So I can't create tables and stuff like that this week. So that's
Mhm.
why. Otherwise,
Yeah, so no worries. So this is basically like how to create that, and when you will do it with your own hand, then you gonna basically later on you gonna explain from your own experience.
yeah,
Because when you will be like later on explaining that, okay, all right, what I did, check the like the resources from the resource manager, and then got the hours, and you would be explaining from your experience, got the hours, and then turn those hours into like estimates, did the budgetary estimate, did this. So you would be explaining from your experience from, and that's what basically if you are explaining from your experience, or if you are explaining from just a book knowledge, as a basically the interviewer we kind of guess that like, okay, all right, they have a kind of, so this is the real experience that you are doing it.
yeah. Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
right.
All
And
right.
so that's why do more exercise, and that's what I was like, the whole story that basically presentation what you are going to speak, write it down first, write
Yeah.
down your speech.
Yep.
Okay, that um, and then basically like when you will write it, then you will have point to speak and go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, and but writing that, then you're gonna remember it easily. Okay,
Yeah. Yep.
because you would understand and all that, but to reproduce you have to write it first. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's yeah.
Mhm.
That's wait. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so that is where basically, so one, write your speech and then create this document.
Yeah. All right. Because like now you clarified more, like like you went into more detailing and got a more idea. Because like as I was just self guessing myself. How to do this, how to do this, how I know, and that's what you want us to do because you wanted to take the mistakes into learning. But now it's more clarified. Yeah, it's more
Okay.
detailed.
Yep. So that's what the intention is, to get like work on it, and then we will present something what you are prepared to, tomorrow, and also ask all the questions that you got, and then we'll go from there.
All right. All right, Shazad. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you.
All
Okay
right.
then. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
A good night.
Good
Night.
night.